Hey YouTube, welcome to the David C. Cook channel. My name is Blake Bauman, and if you're new here, welcome. And if you're a returner, welcome also. So this is an interview that we did with Pastor Nick Korrir from Nairobi Chapel in Kenya, and he just had so many good insights and wisdom while he was here with us in this interview. We just had to put a couple clips together for you guys. So I'm not really going to do a super long intro, but I just want to kind of get into the first clip. This is near the front of the interview. Sorry, if you want to watch the full interview, we're going to link it here up in the top, and that you can watch the full interview there. But this first clip is called the 80, 15, and 5 principle. And this is helpful for anybody, but especially for pastors, just as, you know, we get pulled in all different directions and there's so many things that demand our attention. What are the things that are the most important as a pastor? And that's a huge question that we would all love an answer to. And so, you know, Nick Korrir takes a shot at it. And so here's his thoughts on the 80, 15, 5 principle. Go ahead and take a look.
And he said it's called the 80, 15, 5 principle. 80% of everything that I do as a pastor, anybody else can do it. 15% of everything that I do as a pastor, my immediate team can do it. It's only 5% of everything I do as a pastor that only I can do. And the most important thing is determining what that 5% is and focusing your life on the 5%. There's 5% that only I can be able to do. And many times I get caught up in the 80, I get caught up in the 15 and never do the 5. And at the end of the day, there's so much that everybody else can do. There's so much that my volunteers in our church can do any day. Give them the opportunity to do that which they can do. There's so much that my immediate team can do. Give them the privilege and the opportunity to be able to do it. That frees you to concentrate on the 5%. That you can do. So that's the first principle. That has freed me to always ask myself, is this part of my 5%? If it's not, let somebody else do it. Let somebody else actually do what they can actually do.
So this next clip that we're going to show is talking about the importance of family and in ministry. And so it's that balance of, you know, ministry, family, you know, how do we balance those things? And so there are a couple clips back to back here where he's talking about the importance of family and what he does to find that balance for himself and for his church. Take a look.
What I made a commitment to in the beginning of my ministry is my first ministry is my family. That is my number one ministry. Sometimes pastors spend more time in ministry than with their families because the ministry engagement gives them a greater sense of significance than their engagement with their family. What I decided is to label my family my first ministry. And my time spent with my family is actually ministry too, because God honors that. And He uses that as a yardstick for my qualification to be a leader over other people. How well I lead my family is the ultimate justification for leading a congregation. So at the end of the day, it's the very thing that God considers most important of all, which is how well I lead my family. That is my number one ministry. The other thing is to secure time away with the family, away from church, away from people, away from everybody else. That's a very important thing to be able to do also. So regularly we'll sit and diarize our year and say this month we are away together as a family. Everybody knows this is family month for us and we are away. It's very important. There are many pastors I know that do not know what a month away from church looks like.
So Pastor Nick shares a lot of really good insights and wisdom into that balance of family. And so Pete, the interviewer, goes back and says, well, you know, I think a lot of pastors would love to do that, but sometimes the elder board or other people, you know, will look down on them, or, you know, they'll just be like, well, he or she is taking too much time off. And so Pastor Nick goes on to talk about his relationship with his elder board and some of the conversations they have, expectations they set, you know, for each other. And he goes in and shares some good insights into how he talks and interacts with his elder board. So let's go ahead and take a listen.
I think what we did is we laid out the ground rules in advance. What are your expectations? What are my expectations? And you come to the place where you agree together to be able to say, yes, you expect me to do this, but this is what I am committed to. And at the point where people make you break your personal family values and your personal commitments, then that is not a healthy environment to be able to serve. I think there's a place to draw the line and to be able to say anything that will compromise my family is not worth it. And I know every elder board has great intentions for the church. I look at the intentions many times. I say these are godly men that desire the church to go ahead, but they need to know my health and my family's health will help them accomplish each and every goal that the church wants to accomplish. So the most important thing is develop a good relationship with your elders. Again, relationships are key. When you've developed a good relationship with them, you have their ear. When you've developed a good relationship with them, you can present a very clear guideline to them to say, I would like to spend this amount of time with my family, etc., and make it something that you agree together. So that at the end of the day, you're not meeting their expectations because you have, many times it's that cloudy image of they have these expectations, I have these expectations, and they clash. Right. That's where the problem comes in. But just make sure the expectations are the same, they're clear. And again, that's based on a relational engagement with them. And it's not something you demand. No, something you make them understand, and you literally win them over to understand the reason why you're asking for time away. And every godly man that is an elder would desire every single day for your family to be anchored and for your personal life to be anchored.
So in this next clip, we've already kind of talked about time and how valuable it is for a pastor, for anybody, and how do we balance those. Pastor Nick then goes on and talks about his schedule for his church. What does his pastoral team, what's their schedule like throughout the week, over the weekend? Obviously Sunday is full and packed, and where does Sabbath play into this? And so he gives a window into what his schedule is for his church and his pastoral team. So let's go ahead and take a look at that.
This is our calendar for the church. It's something we call Me Monday. Me Monday is for the ministers of the gospel. Nobody else is allowed to step into that space. I cannot call you as my fellow pastor on Monday. I'm stepping into your time in that sense. And our elders know this calendar. We've communicated it to them. The second one is Tuesday. We call it Team Tuesday. Team Tuesday is a day where we gather together as a team. We meet during our staff meetings, we pray together, and we also have discipleship groups so that every single staff member is a part of a discipleship group. Then we have Work Wednesday. Work Wednesday is the day where you're not allowed to have meetings at Nairobi Chapel. It allows Pete, it allows me, it allows everybody else to spend time and do the work that they are called to be able to do without feeling pulled into meetings. Thursday is Training Thursday because we are committed as a team, as a pastoral team, to grow. So each and every department has a training for its respective departments. We have an internship program, and each and every one of our interns are trained and equipped through that. Then Friday is Fellowship Friday. It's the day where I get the opportunity to go and visit one of my volunteers, to pray for him where he works, to encourage him, and to be able to guide him in that sense. So it's my opportunity to go out there and to be able to meet our members. Saturday, we call it Strategic Saturday. It's a day where our volunteers meet, we train them, we equip them and mobilize. Our worship team meets to prepare for Sunday and to prepare for worship. Then Sunday is Service Sunday. So within our weekly schedule, we've broken out time where you can be alone. And I think that needs to be communicated to the leadership of the church. Again, Absolutely. If their intentions is my health and the health of the church and the health of my family, then that's definitely something they would agree to.
So this last clip is near the end. It's at the end of the interview, and Pete goes on to say, if there's anything else that one last kind of parting words for pastors, what would you want to share with them? And there's not really a lot for me to say. I'm just going to go ahead and play it. This is Pastor Nick's final thoughts for you guys in ministry. Let's go ahead and take a look.
In my most discouraging moment, someone who's a very close friend came up to me and put his hand on my shoulder and told me, guess what? You do not need to die for the church because Jesus already died for the church and he gave himself up for the church. All he needs for you is to surrender to him. Many times we feel the weight, because we are passionate about ministry, we feel the weight of the church on our shoulders. And many times we're even willing to literally die for the church. I just want to tell any pastor out there, you do not need to die for the church. Jesus already did. Just find your way to that cross to the foot of that cross. Let that be your place of renewal. Let that place be your place of strengthening. Let that place be your place of assurance. I can never assure you more than the one who has called you, who is faithful, and he will do it. He will assure you of your call. He will strengthen you afresh. He will fill you with wisdom. He will fill you with knowledge, and he will give you a new lease to be able to serve God. Visit that foot of the cross as often as possible, and that place will be the place of greatest renewal for you as you serve God. Jesus already died for the church. You don't have to.
So thank you guys for watching. If you found this video helpful, insightful, go ahead and take a look at our other videos up here. If you want to subscribe to the channel, you can do that here. Leave a comment down below. What was your favorite clip? We'd love to communicate with you guys, talk with you guys, share our thoughts and comments as well. We hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you in the next one.